What's going on, buddy?
What's the saying? There's days when nothing happens.
No, weeks.
When weeks so there's So there's days when nothing happens.
No weeks.
And then there's days when nothing happens. Then there's weeks when nothing happens. And then sometimes there's weeks when days happen.
Sometimes a lot of things happen.
And sometimes there's weeks when sometimes there's days when nothing happens.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there's weeks when nothing happens, and then sometimes there's days when weeks happen. And then sometimes there's weeks when nothing happens.
Nailed it.
And then okay. So sometimes there's days when nothing
Yep.
I was really trying to do like a little bit right from the get-go there, and you were really struggling to let me do it. You're like, no, Cam,
No.
that isn't the saying.
Yeah.
Cam.
Hard sell, dude. Hard sell, yeah.
That isn't the saying that people do, Cam.
Nope, that's
This
not
is
what
an
they say.
austere show.
Yeah. This is serious, yes.
yeah.
Left Unread is serious business.
Yeah, so seriously though, we were
What the
talking
fuck?
2 days ago about doing a very different show today, and
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, this isn't even like my favorite stuff to talk about, but I feel like it's stuff that we have to talk about, and I mean, sometimes it's my favorite stuff to talk about, but I do feel like what a year, man.
Yeah.
What a couple years. So I remember when the OceanGate submersible disaster happened,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
we were all kind of embracing this really morbid meme cycle.
I mean,
and-
that was one of the most goated weeks on the internet. Like,
yeah, it was a crazy time.
Every day was just a fucking riot.
Sure.
Oh.
Now, the memes are still coming. They're coming hard and fast. And we've shared the memes like privately betwixt ourselves. There's some funny ones, but I will say, like, I'm getting a little fatigued of the cynicism of it all, and it's starting to feel really bleak to me.
I have taken like unreal levels of psychic damage this week. Like my soul is very unclean.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. So obviously we have a lot to talk about, and I'm sure everybody.
We're recording on the morning of Friday, September 12th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so 2 days ago,
Yeah.
September 10th, I was in the middle of cooking a really nice summer dinner. I was hanging out with my girlfriend. Beautiful Cambridge evening. We had just put together a nice little patio couch for her. So I was like, dang, this is great. We're going to have a little al fresco night. It's great. And as I'm cooking, she looks up at me and she says, oh, Charlie Kirk just got shot. But there's nothing about how serious it is. And I was like, well, okay. Like, and then as I'm sitting there, I was like marinating some flank steak, and I was like, I better check my phone, because I know a guy who definitely is on it, and I guarantee you he's sending me some shit. And I, wrapped up a couple things, washed my hands, look at my phone, few texts from my friend Evan.
Yeah.
And it's good to know that I think one thing I will say, folks, I think it's important to have friends in your life that you have a certain idea of their routines. You get to know somebody well enough, you can really count on them in certain times. And when a prominent right-wing talking head gets gacked, I know my friend Evan's on it. So I opened my phone, sure enough, and he's like, hey, man. And, Evan knows I'm not, like, one for extreme gore. He's like, listen, first video, you'll probably be okay. Be forewarned as you scroll. Gets pretty rough. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure enough, like, we saw that, and I saw it, and I was like, okay, this guy's dead. Like,
the long distance one, you're like, okay, that looks pretty bad.
But you can't really tell where he gets hit, but he slumps. I mean,
you can see it's in the head region.
And then saw the clip. So we're talking about Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk, who sort of famously or infamously, whatever, for the past decade plus, I think he when he was like 17 or 18, founded the conservative kind of think tank. Whatever, Turning Point USA.
The trick children into fascism.
It's. I mean, I think it's fair to say, and I actually do want to try to talk about this in kind of a more measured way than we sometimes do, because and not in some like apologist way for like, oh, we all need to come together. Like, I don't feel that way, but I do feel like, there's other people making the memes better than we probably will. So I do want to try to kind of like dig in here because there's meat to this. But so founded Turning Point USA, sort of became this widely known, if not necessarily widely respected, teenage,
he's kind
and
of a clown,
and he's the memes about the size of his head and his proportions. He was kind of an odd looking guy. That was all a big part of it for people that maybe weren't fans, but there were also a lot of young white men mostly, but not exclusively. Even in my sort of online social media sphere, I wouldn't say friends, but people that I know. I've been surprised at the sort of diversity of background, whether it's socioeconomic or ethnic or whatever, who are expressing sadness at his passing. All men. I don't know a single woman who is sad about it.
Oh, I do.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I know they're out there. I've seen the sort of outraged videos, and I do want to talk a little bit in a minute about that sort of outrage and how much of that is genuine and how much of that is performative, because that's another whole thing. But there was obviously a pretty devoted I guess I'll say fan base, because he was a media personality, right? This is being treated as like a political assassination, but let's be real, the guy was...
He was a podcaster.
I mean, he was much more famous than Evan and I, but doing this, which I think it's fair to say doesn't require any specific bona fides. Like, Evan and I have bachelor's degrees in history, and we call this a history show, and that's about all it takes, right? So,
exactly, And you sickos believe us.
I don't even know if anyone does. But anyway, I digress. So it's interesting. So he was at a rally in Utah and giving one of his on a college campus. Was it the University of Utah?
I'm not sure if it was the University. I don't think it was the University of Utah. It was some Utah university. I'm not exactly sure.
So he was in Utah, and he was giving a talk. And here, I'll get the specifics before I. Utah Valley University.
Yeah, okay.
Now, he's been on this tour, the American Comeback Tour.
This was the first one.
This was the first stop.
Yeah.
And his sort of MO when he would go on these speaking tours, he loved to set up shop on college campuses. And this started as a pretty grassroots thing, but by the time of this tour, this is big. I mean, this has got all the attendance of like a major...
he's been big for like 10 fucking years. Yeah. Like since he was like fucking like 20 years old.
Right. And so when that started, he was of college age, and his whole thing was that he would set up this prove me wrong table and... would
that was
debate.
more Steven Crowder's thing, though. That's the thing. So, like, this Prove Me Wrong table, now, like, I think he, like, aped that from Steven Crowder.
Exactly.
Like,
a bunch of guys have done...
There's this whole milieu for our more normie fans out there, not completely internet poisoned as we are. There's, like, this kind of, like, whole milieu of grown conservative men who are, like hard right, like, men who, whole thing is that they like to try to do gotcha things on children.
Right.
like let's be honest, like when college students, like what I mean, I guess college students are as young as like 17. Like, you know, like these are like men in their 30s. Is for Steven Crowder or like Ben Shapiro in their fucking 40s. Who was like, who are the whole thing is to like try to like do gotcha on like kids,
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
half their age, like and like that, and like make themselves feel like tough and smart for that. But anyway, so
yeah, and I don't know
Charlie
who,
Kirk's
but Charlie Kirk would do a similar.
and he
thing.
started it when he was younger, obviously. But now
Right.
he's like, I was actually fucking.
He was
shocked
31
to learn that he was fucking younger than me. I was like, damn, dude, I thought this dude just like had a couple years on me. No, he was like 31 years old.
Yeah, well, you're quite old.
Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah, I'm
You're almost at the expiration date, I'd say. Much older than me.
Well, okay.
Those months make a big difference.
Yeah, the 10 months I got on you or whatever.
It's like almost
Not even,
a year.
I don't think, yeah.
It might be. So it's not 9 months. It's about 9 months.
9 months.
A little
yeah.
less. It's like it's 8 and change.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
8 months and change older than me, and I'm just saying. I think it makes a difference. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's just blaze right past that. We'll accept it as
let's
fact,
just-
and we'll keep it
yeah.
moving. So he sort of did this thing that became a shtick for a lot of people, and maybe one of them originated it or whatever, but he had one of these tables, and his whole thing was that it was like this open forum for debate. And on its surface, right, when you're looking at something like that, like, okay, the basic premise of let's create a forum on a university campus for people to debate political ideas. I think everyone can agree that if you accept that base conceit, sure, right? But the reality of it is that wasn't really what he was doing. As Evan said, he's trying to set up these film bite gotcha moments to propel his own brand and to make it seem like he's out here like owning the libs or whatever. And really what he's doing is he's getting stock footage of, you know, ideally for him, people that are younger and less eloquent than he is. And all of these guys, like the Crowder, the Ben Shapiros, the Charlie Kirks, their whole brand is not actually rooted in being especially effective debaters or especially intelligent individuals. They're just willing to talk over people, to bully, to interrupt. And that throws a lot of people off. And you can create these scenarios pretty effectively where it looks like, to someone who's just observing a 30-second clip, you are shutting someone's argument down. However,
you are owning the libs.
Right.
You are dabbing on them.
And as with all of these guys, you know, Crowder and Shapiro and Charlie Kirk, anytime you dive a little deeper, you will find hours of examples of people who show up with even a modicum of debate experience and education and, you know, preparedness, very quickly making all of these guys look pretty foolish. And that's not even to say that I think that, you know, because a lot of this whole like prove me wrong open forum debate thing that exists in the sort of liberal sphere as well. There are guys who are into that, and I don't know any of their names. There's a couple young guys who are super popular right now, who famously were constantly trying to get Charlie Kirk to debate, and he never would, right? And it's like, well, that's because, like what they're saying or not, these kids were smart, and they were prepared to show up and have an actual televised debate, which that wasn't Charlie Kirk's brand. That's not Ben Shapiro's brand. That's not Steven Crowder's brand. They like to present that, and that's what a lot of the outrage around Charlie Kirk's death has been centered on, is like, how could imagine getting shot just for
he just wants to get to the
truth. He was
truth.
a peaceful, respectful individual whose whole brand revolved around creating a safe space for the debate of ideas. And I think that is a
This
fallacious.
motherfucker straight up said that black people were better under slavery.
Yeah.
like
So there's been years and
Christ,
years,
man.
and that's what's so interesting about this, right? Is it's like
Yeah.
the receipts are out there. They're not just out there because someone like got hidden camera footage or stole recordings from a phone conversation where he slipped up and said something.
Yeah.
He would publicly express extremely blatantly white supremacist, fascistic.
He like argued for the repeal of the Civil Rights Act. Like you know what I mean? Like I think like let's be completely clear about something with Charlie Kirk. Like this, he was like an unabashed, unashamed, like white supremacist.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and
he
this
absolutely
isn't a
wanted
hot
a white
take.
ethno state. Yeah, this isn't a hot take. You know, I think sometimes maybe some people might be, maybe not to use a great word, but are a little histrionic about like how they present like certain like right wing people. You know, and I'll give Charlie Kirk credit for this. I almost kind of respect him for how blatant he is. Like, he didn't fuck with dog whistles. Like, he wasn't trying to like hide behind this like, oh well, gotcha, you know, I'm just like a, you know, community focused guy. Like, no, he was just straight up like, yes, no, I think white people are better. Like,
right.
And, you know, I have a certain respect for him, like, not really hiding behind I think he was turns of phrase or whatever.
He was very honest about what he was attempting to convey and what he was hoping to convince others to believe. He was also very open about that being his desire. I think that's something that sets him apart from Steven Crowder and from Ben Shapiro, who hide behind this veil of, you know, or even if you want to get into like the manosphere podcast shit, like someone like a Joe Rogan who really lean into this, like, oh, I'm a moderate, I'm a middle of the road guy, and they hide behind that as a way to push this hardcore right wing agenda. Charlie Kirk didn't generally do that.
Certain respect to him for that.
He at least was upfront and honest, you know, and you can see video clips of him saying things like Deutschland über alles and like meaning it. You know what I mean? Like, he was pretty blatant and pretty honest about being, he wouldn't have called himself maybe a white supremacist. You know, he wouldn't be that blatant, but he was pretty blatant about
But he argued for segregation.
For segregation, for white supremacist ideology, for incredibly chauvinist ideology. He was an abashed homophobe. He was a very, very publicly
piece of shit.
Principled piece of shit.
Piece of shit,
And so that's what's been so interesting about this, is that the response to it. Now, my assumption, and I think I'm being very generous with people, especially with people that, you know, I am personally familiar with. I think I'm being pretty generous when I assume that a lot of these people probably actually didn't pay much attention to Charlie Kirk when he was alive. Some of them certainly did, but again, I think a lot of it is like these little clips you get online where it's like, oh yeah, like he's saying something that I sort of tangentially find agreeable. And maybe these people aren't even, like I said, I know lots of people who are not white, who are sad about him being dead. So obviously there was something there that these people were, even if it was just in small little tidbits, were finding something in, and the fact that he has now been killed. But the narrative around his death has very obviously been co-opted as, you know, this horrific, violent, leftist assault on free speech, on, you know, peaceful propagation of ideology. No one should be killed for their ideas. No one should be killed for their beliefs. Now, look. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, just before we started recording, they have the shooter.
Yes.
And
22-year-old
so
kid.
All right. So one thing I do want to say is, first of all, Ari Aster is the most vindicated man in America.
Sure.
Like, Eddington is a fucking documentary. Like one thing, like, I know people always used to say this was like a big thing, especially during the first Trump administration. Oh, the internet isn't real life. Twitter's not real life. Whatever. I think at this point, like, especially like, we'll get into some of the details here. The internet is fucking, like, the internet has like crossed that like mucus membrane. It is it is real fucking life now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you know, that's one of the things, you know, for people who haven't seen Eddington, you know, I don't really get too much into it. I don't want to spoil it. This isn't an episode about that. But like, there's like a shot across the bow in that movie, which is that no, the internet is fucking real life. It is completely propagated through every fucking corner of the physical world at this point. And, you know, and one of the reasons is Charlie Kirk just got fucking assassinated.
Yeah.
Like, I know you and I have known who Charlie Kirk is for like fucking 10 years because you and I are like very online left-leaning people, you know, throughout all of those 10 years.
Yeah, and you have to be aware of who these people are so that you don't get sucked in.
Yeah. But like, Charlie Kirk has also been like basically a meme on the left for like 10 years.
Right.
And to the point that legitimately when I saw that he got shot, I couldn't even remember what his actual face looked like because there's like this long running, like decades long meme about shrinking Charlie Kirk's face.
Yeah, into the
because he has such a weird head
Sure.
and face with these just insanely prominent gums and like cheeks that snap back like they're on meat hooks.
It was sort of
smiles.
it was sort of the archetype of the JD Vance meme that became very popular in the past year and a half.
Yeah.
Where it was like we're subtly photoshopping
don't
this
even
until
remember
at the end you've got this like end stage monstrosity that's very clearly not the real JD Vance. But there's this whole spectrum in between. And that was the thing with Charlie Kirk. It's like people would subtly shrink his facial features a little bit. And then by the end of it, you're like, okay, this is clear. This can't be real. But like,
I don't remember where the transition is. Yeah,
right.
And
it's
so,
like messing with the sliders in an Oblivion character creator.
I need that blue white bitch on Depop, chillin' teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a free thought. Shoulda never loved a bitch along with my seat. My not a bitch skip hip, poppin' in my Reeboks. Talk about a detox, busy like a meatbox. All grown up, bitch, looking like Salute, not that booty. I need that blue white bitch on Depop, chillin' teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a free thought. Shoulda never loved a bitch along with my seat. My not a bitch skip hip, poppin' in my Reeboks. Talk about a detox, busy like a meatbox. All grown up, bitch, looking like Salute, not that booty.
Could've been 30, could've been a G. Should've never snitched, why you take it to police? Now they're looking at you funny when you're walking down the street, looking at you like food, trying to see where they can eat. Me, I'm like Wallow and Gilly with the game. You don't really wanna act silly, behave. When I was on stage and the milli gets made. I need that breeze. I feel sorry for Skepta, they copy these flow, but they say that it's a new flow. Imitation don't flatter me, but it's cool though. Should've ever left the guy alone in my studio. Put them in the coffin, get them on a tombstone. Yeah, I got a half of the price of a kudo. Living like a boss man, nothing like Hugo. I need that good price. What the plug turn pagan, tweaking, ticking inflation, peace is needed, getting impatient, blood, everybody getting complacent, leg, work, step on the pavement, victory lap, I'm back in the station, I'm really a psycho, Patrick Bateman, if you see her with me, she's taken.
Blue white bitch on Depop, chillin' teapot, 2 left feet, them Reebok. Shawty did freelance, now she a free thought. Shoulda never let that bitch alone with my seat. My not a bitch skip hip, poppin' in my Reeboks. Talk about a detox, busy like a meatbox. All grown up, bitch, looking like Salute, I need that.
And so like he's been like a meme and like basically a clown too. Like even like in right wing circles, he's always been kind of considered like a clown. Like not really like he makes fucking money and he can fucking fundraise. So people obviously fuck with him, but I mean he's a fucking joke.
He's been a very effective mouthpiece on the Israel pro-Israel. Genocide
actually
denial front.
But also not really. He's like broken with Israel.
Well, that's recent. So that I want to talk about because
but
that change has happened in the last 4 or 5 months, I want to say.
Yeah.
But historically, he was a very popular pro-Israel mouthpiece. A lot of guys have started to kind of drift away from that.
Yeah,
which I think is actually very pertinent here, and I think that we should talk on that. But yeah, so Charlie Kirk has been like a joke. He's been a well-known joke, and I think that again, I don't want to dwell too much on like the dunking on him memes or whatever because they're out there and we've all seen them and whatever. And are some of them funny? Yeah, for sure. But like
almost all of them are.
Yeah, I don't want that to be like the focus or the tenor of our entire episode. So like I think that. One that really hit the nail on the head and like has proved to be true for me, and I don't know about for you, but it's like right now the worst guy from your high school is like posting a photo of Charlie Kirk and his family.
And dude, I got a cousin who's in his fucking 50s and he's taking a hard like Trump turn.
Yeah,
and like he's posting lots about Charlie Kirk. I mean, dude. So I was saying before how you said it was like mostly men. There's this girl that I had something of a relationship with like 10 years ago. And I became hip to the fact that she's taken a hard like Trump turn in the last few years, and I saw she's had like tributes for Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, that's tough
on like her Instagram, and it's just like dude, like clearly you could tell that she's like crying as she's posting it.
Yeah,
like rest in paradise, Charlie. It's just like what the.
Well, so here's the part of that I find so frustrating, right? Because and it's weird, the tone of all these, they kind of parrot each other, and it makes me wonder who like seeded this specific expected response.
I mean, dude, I was at the gym last night, and Fox News was on the TV, and I was there for like an hour and a half, and the entire time.
Yeah,
it was just Charlie Kirk.
Oh, they're pushing the martyr angle hard on him.
With that, I was just like, Jesus Christ, because obviously they don't want to fucking talk about the scrapbook, which was gonna be the initial focus of this episode.
Right.
But obviously they don't want to talk about that, so it's just wall-to-wall Charlie Kirk.
Right.
On Fox News.
And it's being
like,
plastered over the screens because they're really angling for this to be like a galvanizing, divisive moment for American citizens, and I think a distraction, right?
Yeah.
Because I think, let's be real, nobody in genuine politics was that enamored of Charlie Kirk. I think that
he's a joke. He was a clown.
Right. but I think that he in death will probably be more useful to anyone than he was in life, right?
Even though seemingly the shooter seems to be like, I had like one of two ideas about who the shooter would be. You know, I mean, like my one idea was that he would be like a groyper, like a Nick Fuentes America First groyper. Which seems like it might be directionally true, if not exactly. It's there's not a ton on that out yet, but based on
I've got a little article from the BBC from about half an hour ago. 22-year-old kid named Tyler Robinson, Utah native, who they've recovered a bunch of shell casings that had.
Oh, dude, that's why I want to talk about.
Did you read any of the stuff that was written on them?
Yes, that's why I want to say, dude, the internet is real life.
Yeah,
because this fucking kid. So I just want to say I had one of two ideas of who the shooter would be. I had my more normal take on it, which was that this was going to be some like groyper or otherwise irony internet poisoned kid, which seems so far like that's the case. My more noided take, which like I had at like a 5% confidence, was that this was some like Israeli like plot. Which you know, obviously, like there were like people like close to Charlie Kirk had come out literally a month ago saying that Charlie was worried that Israel would fucking ice him.
Yeah.
If he didn't like reverse course back to being like pro-Israel.
Yeah.
And the Israeli government's actions since this happened, I mean, immediately like Itamar Ben-Gvir and Benjamin Netanyahu and like all of these,
all like right at the same time too.
Immediately, we're just like galvanizing him, or just like eulogizing him and whatnot. And then like immediately Benjamin Netanyahu came out and said it was like, oh, this was not Israel, we did not kill him. Which like immediately you're just like, that's a strange thing to say.
Yeah.
But but that was like my more noided take. Not really one that I had confidence in, but I was like, I could see it. But the one that seemed like much more likely, which seems like it was that this was some like groyper or otherwise internet irony poisoned kid who they said that he had some etchings. The bullet that was fired apparently said, this was fantastic to see a grown man say this out loud. He said that the one that was fired had etched on it, "Notices bulge. Oh, whoa, what's this?"
Oh my god!
Like what the?
Yeah,
fuck?
it's like Pepe meme dog shit.
Yeah,
like just
exactly. Like 4chan, like Pepe meme,
and that
shit,
stuff. Right, that stuff being scratched on bullets that are being used to assassinate public figures. It's This is what I'm saying. It's
you can't look at it for too long. You can't look at it for too long.
It's harmful, right?
Like you see shit like that and you just go, whew.
So the other bullets, they would like things were written on them like "Hey fascist, catch." One said "Oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao," the famous Italian anti-fascist anthem.
Bella Ciao, ciao,
and one
ciao,
said, and I'm quoting here: "If you read this, you are gay." LMAO. So like a weird mix of stuff that you would see from like a very like 4chan groyper angle, but then also like some anti-fascist messaging, which is confusing, right? Like I think that stuff is almost probably, I don't know. I don't go down rabbit holes like this, like conspiratorial rabbit holes, in the way that I just don't have the capacity for it. But like, it's not an incredibly tough sell to me to conceive that this is. I mean, that was a crazy shot.
Yeah,
he got shot. It was one shot. I mean, the video is insane. I'm not going to like tell anybody to watch it, but like if you've seen the close-up shot, I mean, it looked like
dude, his neck opens like a breached dam. It was shocking.
He left this earth instantly. I mean, that was
I would say he was probably dead by the time he hit the deck.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that can happen accidentally, but like also, I don't know. I mean, it from what did they say, like 200 yards or whatever?
Yeah.
The kid was a good shot if this was the kid. Anyway, it's it's interesting, and it's
Yeah.
there's plenty of room there for a poisoned conspiracy theorist brain to go off in any direction.
Yeah.
And who's to say, right? I don't know that we'll ever get a satisfying.
And the kid comes from like a Republican Mormon family. His
Yep.
dad is like a 27-year veteran of the sheriff's office. So let's just be perfectly clear here. We do want to say the dinguses in charge of Trump's FBI, they did not catch him. Unbelievably, putting morons like Kash Patel and Dan Bongino in charge of federal law enforcement did not cloak themselves in glory. They detained 3 or 4 different people the day of, none of whom had anything to do with this.
Yeah.
And the kid got caught because his pastor recognized him and went to his dad and said, "This looks like Tyler, right? Isn't it
Yeah.
Tyler? This looks like Tyler." And his dad went up to him and said, "Hey, is this you?" And the kid confessed to his father.
Yeah.
Kash Patel, deer in the headlights look that he always has. Dan Bongino, that stupid bastard with the annoying picture where he's doing the eyebrow thing. I don't even know what his name is.
Well, I mean, listen, buddy, Glass Houses with the eyebrow shots.
Yeah.
Evan is a fan of when he's
Yeah.
posting how swole he's getting.
Yeah.
And look, the guy's moving weight. Give it to him. I'll give credit where it's owed. Evan can pick stuff up with the best of them. He likes to be strong. But you're a big fan of the
But that's not my official government look when I'm trying to look tough. That's like a joke look. Yeah.
It's a joke now, I think. Anyway.
I don't even know what the kid's name is, but that what stupid bastard I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The 22-year-old. But these 3 morons, they had nothing to do with they were just fucking detaining it. They detained somebody because they had an airsoft gun at one point.
Yeah.
So they had nothing to do with catching this kid.
Those airsoft guns sometimes look pretty real. There was actually just an issue at UMass Lowell last week where a kid who clearly had something going on was walking around with an airsoft, AR-15 analog, and I mean it looked like a completely real gun. I mean, maybe someone who knows firearms would have been able to spot it at a distance, but from further than a foot away, he was walking around campus. It was a huge deal. So I'm not as, I mean, whatever. Sometimes those fake guns look pretty real to me. So I think we got to put the little orange tips back on them, like when we were kids. They had a cap gun with the little. Yeah. Anyhow. So yeah, the kid's in custody, and I'm sure there's going to be an endless news cycle around that as information comes out. But the whole thing has been a fascinating exercise. So what I'm seeing, just to kind of circle back, what's really driving me crazy is this narrative, and the way that it has infiltrated just the people in your neighborhood, and the way that this messaging is getting out. It's very much and I've seen this pretty explicitly worded. It's if your reaction to this for even 1 second was anything other than outrage and sadness, you are a horrible and mentally ill person, and you need help and prayers. Right, and that's what I'm saying. It's dude, I think anybody who's being honest with themselves would say that they had a complex reaction to this, right? It's not that I'm sitting here hell yeah, that's sick.
I mean, I kind of.
Sure,
but I understand that is a sick reaction. I saw some. I can't remember who did, but I did see some tweet that somebody said that I can tell my brain is fried like an egg because I see somebody get shot, and my immediate reaction is to refresh this app until my eyes bleed.
Yeah,
and I was Twitter. Just yeah, dude, no, this is bad for my soul.
I saw that before you sent it to me and thought of you immediately.
Yeah. I know, I literally the whole time I'm just refreshing Twitter, and I'm this is really bad for my soul, but it is incredible content.
So what I did was I finished cooking that beautiful, fresh summer dinner and went outside and listened to some music and had a lovely evening. And then revisited it the next day. Which I would recommend to anybody involved, that take a break, go make yourself a nice supper, sit outside while you can.
Yeah.
Breathe the air. Everybody's still normal out here in reality. Your neighbors are decent. Don't get that's the thing that's driving me crazy. So it feels it feels like a psyop, dude. It feels like a keep everyone divided, keep everyone distracted from the fucking pedophile list.
Yeah.
And the fact that Trump might have just also had a stroke and is like looking.
Oh, dude, he 100% had a stroke or a series of strokes.
Yeah, he's not looking good.
Okay, so first of all, like, yes, immediately when this happened, my first reaction was to pull out the MK Ultra machine in my pocket and just let my fucking brain just get blasted. And, like, what doesn't help is that then Trump that night posts what is clearly an AI edited, if not generated video.
So I've watched a lot of deep dives into it. I don't think it's a 100% AI generated
No,
video.
I don't either.
It is definitely edited.
I think it is definitely edited. I think there's definitely
I mean, there are
AI
parts
editing.
where his hands, like, fold into each other and fingers go missing.
Oh, and that, like, okay, there's one part right when he says the word Patriots that his hands, like, glitch and, like, move up in, like, a weird way and back down. And all I could think of, I was just like, Hideo Kojima.
So we're talking about Trump's appearance at the 9/11 memorial, which occurred the day after, so yesterday.
Well, no, we're talking about the video the night before.
Oh, I'm sorry, that he released, in response to...
That is clearly an AI edited video. I don't think it's entirely generated, but I think it's probably multiple different shots of him speaking that then is touched up with AI. And there's one moment where his, like, hands, like, glitch right as he says the word Patriots. It's, like, 18 seconds in or something like that.
Yeah.
And literally all I could think of was just, like, Hideo Kojima, I am your servant.
Yeah.
Like... I was just like, what the fuck, man? And for you that doesn't get that reference, it's a reference to Metal Gear Solid 2 with the Patriots who are like AI generated. Anyway, but like this video is like clearly AI edited, and it's like does not help dispel any of the madness of that day.
No,
like you're just like, what the fuck? Yeah, and then the next day he comes out for the 9/11 memorial. He obviously has to be in person for that. I mean, dude, he's like drooling out of the side of his mouth.
You can see him kind of try to suck his cheek in, and there are points where he kind of corrects it, but his face is drooping. And, to play devil's advocate, which I did in the text with Evan, like, it's possible that's other things. There are more benign reasons that could happen. But for a guy his age, like, with that much McDonald's...
And after he disappeared for one weekend...
That's what I'm saying, and he's had these bizarre bruises on his hands, and... I think it's safe to I wouldn't bet on something that wasn't a stroke.
I don't think the Emperor is in the best of health.
No. And I think
if this were ancient Rome, I believe the Praetorian Guards would be licking their chops. Let's just say.
They'd be trying to find a good amount to demand for the bonus, the pay raise.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna need to see some fucking denarii, my friend. Things are looking a little iffy for you, brother. So how about a bonus?
Yeah, if you want our continued protection, it's gonna cost you a few gold denarii.
The war in Dacia isn't going as well as it could be. I mean, it's there's a lot of
there's a general out there. Old Claudius out there seems like a real straight shooter. The men like him a lot. He's
Illyrian, but I think that with his attitudes are changing, that might not be
the times they are changing. There's a provincial air to the to the royal courts these days.
Yeah, a Spaniard might not look so bad in the purple. So anyway, it's this whole thing is mired in this very sketchy air that, like I said, if you are the type of person who has the bandwidth to go down some insane conspiracy rabbit hole, it's there for you. And I think there's just layers and layers and layers, and you could just go down and down and down and down and down. But I do think that this is actually an important time for people to kind of be wary of that and to say, look, like, it's very clear that there is this weird, like, digital veil over everything right now, and
the internet is real life.
It's cliche to say, but genuinely touch grass. Like, actually, right now, what I think everyone needs to do before we start making posts about now we gotta fucking whatever. There's people making death threats against leftist figures now.
Oh, dude, there was a shooting on a naval base last night, seemingly like an ROTC kid shot up a cop.
There was a school shooting in Colorado like 7 minutes after Charlie Kirk got killed, and no one gives a fuck.
Literally, my plan, the second we hit stop on this episode, is to go for a walk down to the park.
Yeah, dude,
That's like a few blocks away.
You gotta just fucking unplug and go outside, because what's happening is people are getting whipped up, and you're seeing like people are posting online like, you're all sick in the head, you leftist sick fucks, and it's like, okay. Let's be super honest here. Like,
Nancy Mace just today made a speech about where she used a slur for transgendered individuals. I mean, she's fucking out of her fucking mind. But and it's just like so hard on the anti-trans stuff. But like even today, as they catch the kid who is like a white Mormon.
It's like I bet it's a transgendered person. I bet they're gonna push that narrative.
No, she was saying we need to get rid of all of this slur for transgender people shit. It's like out of control, all of this again slur shit. She's like, it's fucking insane.
Well, the thing is, they're gonna talk about everything but gun control. They're gonna talk about everything but support for people with mental illness. Yeah. And look, I mean, this has already been beaten to death, so it's not gonna be bringing anything new to the conversation by pointing it out. But to say, like, look, this to me is to circle back to Charlie Kirk. Like, this is a very clear live by the sword, die by the sword scenario. Like, it's not. And that's not even glorifying how it happened or that it happened. It's just, it's reality. Yeah. And for people to get up on their soapboxes and say things like, no one should be killed for their beliefs. Yeah, sure. But what fucking world are you living in where that has ever been true? Yeah. That's never been true. And the victims of that type of violence have disproportionately been people who did not look or believe anything like Charlie Kirk.
Dude, the fucking, like, one of the craziest things about all this is that, like, Charlie Kirk died as he lived, promoting, like, violence and
he was mid-sentence
railing against transgendered and black people. Like, literally,
he was being asked a question about gun violence and gun violence statistics, and he was in the middle of making a false equivalency to gang violence, which, as we all know, is a dog whistle about brown people.
Yeah, and right before that, he was talking about how he was basically making a point that, like, mass shootings have disproportionately carried out by transgendered individuals, and then he immediately switches over, like, does his little, like, switch, and then he's like, also black people are in gangs and they do shootings too, right? And literally he puts down the mic and sits up all proud of himself, and then his neck gets split the fuck open.
Sure. Yeah, and it couldn't be a more perfect, which, again, if you're the type of person who wants to go down this rabbit hole, it couldn't be a more perfect little everything. The package is just, it's so neat and tidy, and it's bizarre. And it could be a total coincidence, who fucking knows. But, it's really disheartening to see that, that people are being, like, actively, like, discouraged from even pointing out, like, hey, man, I mean, this guy was on the record hundreds of times basically saying that, like, gun deaths are
good,
more than worth it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the price that we pay for having that Second Amendment.
The victims of mass shootings can't hold can't be like the focus of the conversation.
Yeah, that the collateral damage represented by any amount of gun deaths is worth it. And I mean, and that's not paraphrasing. He's basically he's said exactly that. Like, I am comfortable with people dying at the rate they are to keep my Second Amendment rights.
Yeah.
That is the price that we pay, and we should pay it willingly to live in an armed society.
Which, I do want to say, like, yeah, I'm, like, a pro Second Amendment guy. Like, I do believe people should be able to own guns. There obviously needs to be changes to the exact...
Sure. No, I am too, and I think that the reality of it, again, being super pragmatic, like, taking, like, the wishes out of the equation, like what we wish our society looked like. America's too far gone on the gun shit. Like, there's more guns than people by a substantial margin, and they're not going away. Yeah. So the solutions need to be oriented around, like, how do we get this under control, rather than, like, let's envision a world without guns. Like, that would be nice, I suppose. Just like a world without, nuclear weapons would be nice. Just like a world where anybody could share their beliefs in an open forum and other people could accept that and absorb it, and we could all have peaceful conversations. It doesn't exist.
Cat's out of the fucking bag.
It doesn't exist, and it's never existed. And any attempt to create a false equivalency to that imagined reality in the wake of something like this happening is weaponized, and it's performative. Mm-hmm. Because again, and look, and I am at least as vehemently opposed to the Pelosi's as I was to Charlie Kirk. But I want to go back through everybody's history who's posting all these outraged anti-violence, peace, love, and harmony posts. Where were they when Paul Pelosi got his head bashed in with a hammer by a Pizzagate weirdo?
Yeah.
Nobody posted a fucking thing. So it's like, come on, like... It isn't about that. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself.
No, people did post about it. They insinuate that this was a lover's quarrel.
Sure.
Like those
people
were the
posted
posts.
jokes about
they were like,
it.
Yeah, they were like, no, well, not jokes. There was like actually people were like, no, they were sucking and fucking, and they got into an argument. Like,
yeah. Which, I mean, who again? Like, I'm not even saying that in some weird, like, I'm not trying to paint like a. Look, when these good guys got hurt. Like, no, fuck the Pelosi's too. But again, like, if we can accept the basic conceit of, like, sure, no one should be at risk of physical violence just for professing a belief. What are you talking about? No. And then, these same people are on the internet joking about, Guatemalan children getting eaten by alligators.
Yeah.
Which is a horrific thing to imagine.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's funny and like, fine because these are illegal people. These aren't real people. Those are people who are doing something wrong by existing.
And also these people just deny flat out that, Israel is committing genocide against Palestine. Or that they're doing it and it's good, actually.
Right, that people... No, well, those are people who deserve to get shot through the head.
Yeah.
But when this one guy who kind of looks like me and said a few things that I saw on Instagram once that I kind of liked, and he had this wife and these beautiful little blonde
wife
children
with 2 blonde kids. Yeah.
I will say this: the one thing you'll get out of me that's even verging on this anti-violent, conciliatory angle. That man's daughters were in attendance at this event, and I regret that deeply. I feel like that is the most egregious and barbarous part of this, is that 2 innocent children who have not had the opportunity to develop as people watched their father get shot to death in front of them. And is that sad? Yes. And do I think that glorification of that type of violence indicates a certain desensitivity that I'm uncomfortable with? Yes. That's about as far as I can go. I really, like, I feel like it is sad that we're all so inured to this kind of act that there's memes about it and shit. Like, does that suck? Does that indicate probably, like, a profoundly sick society? Yeah, but I mean, like, we're living in it, so...
No.
We gotta get out of it. The fucking years of lead, as you've been saying.
Well, so that's one of the things I do want to say too. Like, I've been not one of those people that say, not one of those we're in the American years of lead people, but gotta hand it to the American years of lead crowd. I believe they happen to have been right.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to deny that characterization at this point.
I mean, dude, after you had the 2 Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota get gunned down earlier this year.
Yeah, state senators, right?
Yeah.
or a state senator, and it's
and a rep, or like
or maybe it was I don't recall, but
I don't remember. Two lawmakers in Minnesota, they were gunned down by a Republican supporting individual. Charlie Kirk just getting his neck split open.
Well, it's just like, and now he's getting touted like he was this fucking Martin Luther King figure, and it's like, dude, the guy was spouting bigoted, hateful speech.
He made millions.
Trying to steer our country into something evil.
He made millions promoting violence against minorities, especially black people and especially transgender.
Yeah, and then
I'm sorry, like, I'm just gonna say, got what it fucking deserved.
Right. And to say that someone got what they asked for, shouldn't be like an indicator that you're some horrid person. It's like, look, man, we're literally, any conservative that is a Charlie Kirk fan has likely engaged in they're getting what they deserve rhetoric ad infinitum for the last decade, right? Like, because the whole idea is based on this like retribution based. Well, if you do the crime, you do the time. If you don't want to end up in fucking alligator Guantanamo, then don't come here to try to get money for your kids or whatever. Like, it's such a false equivalency, and we're swimming in it. Yeah. We're swimming in this imagined reality where all of a sudden it's like, how could you even conceive of a joke about this brave, beautiful, white Christian man who believed in nothing but peace and harmony and just sharing your ideas, and no one should get shot for their beliefs. All right, man. I believe that you all mean that. Great.
I don't, but
I'm kidding.
Yeah, okay.
I'm being sarcastic. It's like, for sure, man. Like, that's great. Yeah. And I'm really glad that
person who 5 minutes ago was frothing at the mouth watching
braying for blood like the audience in a coliseum.
Yeah.
Over anybody but this fucking dork.
Yeah.
And
this clown,
and it's like, I can't stand it. And none of these people, because you can't be a reasonable person and like Charlie Kirk. You can't be a reasonable person and feel that way. But none of these people are open to the conversation about like, hey man, you do nothing but spout like politically violent ideology all the time.
Yeah. 100% of the time you open your mouth.
What the fuck are you talking about right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you not feel like it's insane of you to be posting that, like, no one should be hurt for their beliefs?
I know your shit gets hard when you watch videos of ICE, like, brutalizing mothers and children.
Dude. Like
I know it because you post about it, clearly.
And they're all the next day posting their 9/11 memorial posts because we're obsessed with the violence. Yeah. We're obsessed with the idea of getting retribution, the idea of proving that we're tough, we're strong.
Yeah.
The people that deserve it, that's righteous and holy violence.
Yeah.
It's crusade shit. It's fucking Deus Vult dog shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, all this aside, I would be remiss now here as we're entering the 50th minute if we didn't at least mention this scrapbook.
Yeah, which I think we should still do the planned episode on the scrapbook.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So don't blow your whole wad here, because I think that's worth talking about. It's a full episode story.
And what's funny is I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. I rewatched True Detective season 1, which I feel like I do at the end of the summer all the time.
It's just a fucking great watch, brother.
Yeah, and
as good of a watch as you're ever going to find.
And I will say, a fan of the show, a friend of the show. That many of you know that will remain nameless, had messaged me saying that they were also rewatching it. Actually, they just messaged me saying that they were rewatching it. I was like, dude, I'm literally watching episode 4 right now, which is funny. And I already was in the Rust Coal mindset again. And then this scrapbook comes out, and it was just like, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, dude, we fucking live in Carcosa.
At this point, Evan's got the industrial-sized spool of red yarn behind him.
Yeah,
got his thumbtacks ready. already, and it's
we
just-
live in Carcosa, and our president is the yellow fucking king.
Yeah.
like what the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Like,
It's...
yeah, I guess, yeah. I'll save it for maybe a full episode, but I just want to say, like, dude, that was some fucking sick shit.
It's
the
crazy.
Fucking drawings. Like, first of all, I mean, just like having your friend's 50th birthday, and everybody's just writing like, "Hey, man, you're a really good guy and a pedophile, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, buddy."
Dude, it's been super
literally
fun.
everybody
like, sexually
is just
abusing
like-
children with you, man.
Like every
Good
single
times.
every single thing in it is mainly about abusing children, but in general there is a heavy theme of sexual violence throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there just going, "What?"
Yeah, man.
And there's two presidents involved in it, featured prominently. One the current president, and one just a small town pedophile from 30 years ago.
Is he from Arkansas?
He might be.
Does he play the saxophone?
He does, and he might go by the name Slick Willie.
I do think we should do a full episode on that because
Yeah,
it's
we
worth
should.
it.
Yeah, I literally, my plan was to dive into it Wednesday night and go through all of it and read it, and then 3 p.m. I'm at work, and a friend of the show, Ian. Oh, so I have the group chat I've spoken about before with Ian and Patrick, and Ian. We were riffing about something else, and then Ian just texts like, "Charlie Kirk, bruh," and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, "What does that mean?" And I didn't really think about it. I was like, "Oh, did he send that to the wrong chat?" And I didn't really think about it. And then like a few minutes later, I like opened Twitter and I just went, "Buh."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's what he meant."
Your little Hank Hill.
Oh,
Ladybird. Dude, man. Yeah, I'll close out with just like to summarize, like, please, listeners,
yeah,
I really want to encourage people not to get like completely whipped up into this like public sphere of like I feel like so often we're forced lately to choose between these hardcore weird binaries where it's like either you are happy about a guy getting shot to death in public or you are outraged by a guy getting shot to death in public. And the reality is like you're allowed to have complex feelings about these things. Do not let yourself get bullied by either like terminally online leftists who like think they know better than you or like these weirdo hardcore like dudes from your high school who are like, "Listen, man, if you've even thought about joking about this, you're an awful, awful, awful person and you deserve everything that's coming to you." Those people are all cooked.
yeah.
Go outside.
It's the end of summer.
Yeah.
If you're able to, if you're an able-bodied person, I recommend going outside, getting some fresh air, getting a little exercise.
However that
getting
works, man.
Getting some sweat pumping,
Yeah, dude.
Work out a little bit.
Ground yourself
Take a brisk walk.
in the reality of your scenario and say, "Look, man, I have people around me that I actually value. Focus on the community. Focus on your little area, whether that's your coworkers, your friends, your family, whatever and whoever is important to you. Don't let these fucking weirdos suck you into, especially these. It's always these fucking bros, dude. These manosphere bros who are just gonna like make you feel like you're a piece of shit for thinking even for 1 second, like, did Charlie Kirk get what he deserved? Did he get what he asked for his whole life?
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm never going to be the guy out there who's deciding about someone else's life like that, but you can't pretend that if you're like a public figure whose whole career and persona is spewing divisive, hateful rhetoric, someone out there is crazy enough to do it. So like, whatever, dude, like it's the life you chose. And we're not all part of that. We're just normal working class people trying to fucking get by while all this insane shit happens around us. So focus on what matters, man. That's all I'll say. Because all this shit, whether it's a psyop or not, take a break.
Yeah.
I need to take a break.
Yeah.
Even talking about this for an hour, my head is swimming, brother. I am anxious.
I'm gonna eat a nice light lunch and go for a walk.
Yep.
Taking some sunshine.
Yep.
So anyway, all that being said, folks, do you like us? Are you our friends? Do you want to give us your money?
If you've heard this show, and even for 1 second, your thought has been anything other than I should go on their Patreon and donate to them, I just think that you're a sick individual.
You're
you need
fucking
prayers.
next.
I'll be praying for you.
Next.
Just so you know, I'm a bigger person than you, and I'll be praying for you from the high ground, the moral high ground. I'll be up here looking down on all you.
I'm up here.
Dirty,
the air's nice up
stinky
here.
mud people.
Air's nice up here. You're in the shit.
No complex thoughts about Charlie Kirk, folks. Okay, when a person dies, everything goes away.
Well,
you can't think about it anymore.
If you want to join us in this nice clean air up here.
Yeah, dude. We're eating turkey burgers
simple...
and shit.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. There's one way to do that. You can go to www.patreon.com/leftunread. And you can go there and you can donate a small monthly amount to help keep the podcast going. That helps us pay for hosting fees. That helps us when we do book episodes or when we do, history episodes, because ostensibly this is something of a history podcast sometimes. We have to buy books. We have to do research. It takes a lot of time. Some of these episodes we spend 10, 15, 20 hours on. If you like those episodes, excuse me, you can help us do more of that by going to www.patreon.com/leftunread. If you are on an Apple product, do not use the Patreon app. Don't do that. Definitely open your web browser and go to www.patreon.com/leftunread. If you use the app on an Apple product, you'll get charged an extra 30% on top of what you donate. That just goes directly to Apple. That goes directly to Tim Cook. I think he's rich enough. So you just, open up the browser, type in the website, donate there.
Wait, you think he's rich enough, dude? Listen, man. There should be no upper limit.
I ain't pocket watching. I think that man might have enough money. But if you can't do that, that's fine. You can donate. You can help out in other ways. You can rate and review us on your podcast app of choice. That helps us get boosted in the algorithm, helps us find new listeners. You can also help us spread by word of mouth. We are a word of mouth podcast by and large. And so you can tell your friends, you can tell your neighbors, you can tell the guy who's live streaming the active assassination that you have.
Dude,
that's what I'm saying
guy.
when Eddington is a fucking documentary.
Yeah.
That is an Eddington-ass scene. Yeah, the guy, we're talking about the guy who's sitting there, like, live streaming it, like,
guys, it's not a drill.
His hat,
Charlie Kirk, shots just fired in Utah.
and then starts stealing the merch. Like,
all praise to Jesus Christ. Charlie Kirk, this is real. This is real. This is not fake. Yep. Come on, everybody.
Duck faces and peace signs.
He catches himself quickly. He's like, I actually shouldn't be doing that, but it's like, you did it, brother. We saw you smiling and shooting up the peace sign.
Yeah. Anyway, yep. So you can help us in all those ways. You can tell them about us. You can tell that live streamer about us while he's raiding the merch table that's probably soaked in blood. Anyway, without further ado, I guess we can sign off here.
Yeah, and as a parting note, if you care at all about violence, you should be caring about the thousands and thousands and thousands of children who have been murdered in Palestine over the past 2 years.
Yep.
I'm excited to see all the tweets about those. I'm excited to see all these people who have just now realized that violence is scary and sad posting about the children in Palestine. Wait till they find out. Yeah. They must not have heard about it.
They must not, yeah.
And once they do, I think that we're going to have a lot of really shocked people.
Yep. All right, well, Palestine.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye.
Bye.